Greetings, cinephiles. Are you looking for a movie analysis podcast that stands above the rest? Then look no further than Collateral Cinema, the only movie podcast that matters.
We analyze good movies, we analyze bad movies, and yes, we also analyze the in-betweens of the world of cinema.
So if you like what you hear, find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts.
And yes, my friends, we are 420 friendly. So when you listen to us,
Smoke it if you've got it.
And now, here's a new episode of Collateral Gaming. The show starts right now.
Tonight, on the post-holiday wrap-up and Angry Video Game Nerd edition of Collateral Gaming bonus round, we are reviewing the Angry Video Game Nerd 8-bit game that just released last year. So stick around, folks. The show starts right now. Welcome to Collateral Gaming bonus round. I'm Ashley Chancellor.
And I'm Bo Maddox.
And we are recording straight from Houston, Texas. And yes, my friends, we are a 420 friendly podcast. So whatever you have, be it bongs, blunts, or joints, smoke it if you've got it. And as you heard on our intro, this is the post-holiday edition of the bonus round. As we do every year, we're talking about the Angry Video Game Nerd. But this time we're switching things up a little bit, and instead of reviewing one of the seasons of the show or various episodes, we are actually talking about a video game that just released in 2025, and that is the Angry Video Game Nerd 8-bit. Right, Bo?
Oh, yeah, man. I've really been looking forward to checking this game out. You know, I mean, I'm aware that there are two other games. This is actually the third in the Angry Video Game Nerd game series. This was released by RetroWare, I believe. Mm-hmm. I mean, it does really kind of capture that 8-bit vibe and everything. I mean, it apparently it even has a NES version that was that either has been released or is still yet to be released. But yeah, they did make it for actual NES hardware, which I think is a very interesting idea, especially with the way that retro gaming is going nowadays. I mean, you can get all kinds of different hardware that can play these games now. So, I mean, there's a lot of, RetroWare is one of them. There's a lot of companies that are making new games for like the Genesis, for the Nintendo, for the Super Nintendo and whatnot, you know? I mean, I think there's even a good homebrew Dreamcast community as well. But I mean, this is really a pretty decent game, I think. I mean, I have a few issues with it, honestly, but I mean, it's still a pretty decent addition to the whole AVGN universe and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by this. I haven't played any of the other Angry Video Game Nerd games, so this was my first time kind of actually playing a video game based on this series. But I do think it's cool that this is not only a game that's like totally playable on 8-bit hardware, but it is actually available on 8-bit hardware, the NES. I mean, that's fucking cool. I really like that. I like that we have companies like RetroWare that are making games for retro consoles like this. But I played this on Switch too. I remember you and I played this together and while I was down for the holidays. And yeah, no, this is a hard as balls game. It is definitely reminiscent of the difficulty of these types of games. I think, the nerd actually kind of, I think James kind of distilled a lot of the things that pissed him off in some of these games he's reviewed and put them into one game. But at the same time, I don't feel like it's quite as unforgiving as those were.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get where he's going with this game. You know, it's like you said, he's basically taking all of the elements of all the shitty games that he's reviewed throughout the years that just pissed him off and just made games just damn near unplayable, you know, especially when we were all younger and everything. Mm-hmm. And I mean, he just put it all in this game just to piss us off, I guess, you know. I mean, hell, each level starts off with "get pissed,"
yes,
and whatnot, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so that kind of I get that that's really the concept that he's going for here. It really is kind of the nerd versus the games themselves in a way.
Definitely. And in fact, like the whole premise of this is it plays out like an Angry Video Game Nerd episode, actually, with full FMV cutscenes, which I don't believe are in the NES port. Yeah, the whole thing plays like an episode, but the premise is that he's trying to save his corrupted game cartridge, which has been corrupted by Super Mega Death Christ. Fuckers!
Version 4.0 beta, bitch.
Yeah.
Fuckers!
It's been corrupted by him, and this has actually affected the whole world and made video games unplayable. So he's got to take all of the shitty games he's played and combine them into one on a pentagram, and that's what we got out of this.
And yeah, I 100% believe that this is the game from hell. We were just playing on the normal difficulty. And
Yeah.
oh my God, every single level that we got into, I don't even think we barely even made it halfway through any of them. Like
No.
maybe one or two we made it halfway.
Well, yeah, one or two we made it like halfway, but we didn't beat a single level.
No.
So there's 3 difficulty level settings in this. One is the normal. One is, I think it's chill as hell. That's the easy difficulty, and then hard as balls, which I haven't even attempted. I did end up lowering this to the easy difficulty, and I will say the game is much easier that way. Instead of instantly losing a life and having to start over every time you fall into a pit or even touch a goddamn spike, instead in the easy version, the nerd just takes a little bit of damage. So
okay.
that made it just
too
so
bad.
much more playable, because I mean, I get hard games, but like sometimes I just don't want to redo the same thing over and over and over again. I don't have the patience I used to when I was young.
well, especially if we're going to complete the game for review and everything, it only makes sense to just try to get through it and just to see what the story is. You know?
Exactly.
And I'm sure that it wasn't a thing where, you know, you get multiple endings. I think there's only really one ending to this game, unless there's like a secret ending that we don't know about. But
I'm not aware of it.
I mean,
There is like an extra like boss rush and boss practice mode that you can do if you take a password from the credits, which I missed. This game has a password system, so just another shitty thing they added to it. But I
damn it.
while you're playing the game, you don't lose any progress. But I will say, when I restarted it, it had me start a new game for some reason, so I don't know how much carries over. This whole game can be played in a single afternoon, though. It's not long. I turned it down to easy difficulty, and you know what, sue me. Bo and I gave it our damnedest attempt, and we played through every single one of the levels. We tried to on the normal difficulty. We were actually pretty determined. There's something about this game that makes it frustrating, but not so frustrating that it loses its playability. Like you do still want to keep trying every time.
yeah. It might make you even a little kind of single player sweaty a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you're just like sitting there like, no, I want to get past this part, you know? And that it's just that type of frustration and that makes you so determined that you're just going to get through this, even if it's futile, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Rolf understands that, and they did kind of really capture that element of retro gaming rather perfectly, you know, for whatever it's worth.
Yeah, and this game apparently plays pretty similar to Mega Man. I've never played a Mega Man game, so I can't attest to that.
I played a few.
Apparently this game is very similar to that. It even has like multiple selectable levels. The only caveat being that there are no permanent upgrades in this game, so there really is no like benefit to be had by playing one level over another, other than, you know, maybe this level was pissing you off a little bit less.
That's where you're going to get one of my gripes with this game is that, I mean, there needs to be a little more incentive to actually go through and play these levels and beat these bosses. It's like, I mean, there needed to be some type of skill progression system here. You know, they could have programmed something like that in here, and, you know, that, you know, could could have given him more. I mean, they have this gunpowder system, that it builds up and whatnot. But
Yeah.
if you get hit, you can lose your whatever firepower that you had. Like you can get split shot, you can get like in Fester's Quest, the spiral shot and everything, or you
Yeah.
can just get a larger bullet. But I mean, it just doesn't really feel particularly natural to me. It kind of makes the actual run and gun gameplay a little more frustrating than it needs to be. I mean, I get that he's trying to give us, the experience of playing shitty, frustrating games, but it's like, I mean, you could do that and not, it's still not do it to the detriment of your own game,
Yeah, I don't like how the gunpowder system decreases every time you get hit. I mean, it does give you a brief moment to recollect the power up, but it's not very long, and you have to think about whether or not it's worth it to go hop over to whatever platform or spike it landed on to get it. So yeah, it is kind of frustrating that you can't really keep any cumulative progress, and if you die during a boss, which is whenever you need power-ups or items the most, you don't get them back.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, I mean, how much more different would this game have been if you could have actually cycled through some of the different weapons that you could get, If you get just like they used to do in Mega Man. It's like, I mean, how are you going to do a Mega Man and not have like the most central part of, what makes progression in that game so satisfying? Like, I mean, that's the one thing that I'm going to say I don't get that.
Yeah, but there are various items and power ups that you can get. There's only a few items that I encountered in our playthroughs of the game. One of which is the shit pickle. And you can also get a golden shit pickle when you're down to 0 lives. And let me tell you, the shit pickle is a grace from God himself.
it's practically game breaking when it comes to the bosses. Actually, I mean, if you get that during most of these boss battles, I mean, it'll pretty much just win the battle for you.
It will, and believe me, that's helped me. I've been down to like my last life on this boss, and I've just been like, you know what? Yeah, actually, I'll start losing a few lives, and eventually I'll get to a point where I was just like, you know what? I'll just let Shit Pickle handle it.
Yeah, fuck it. Just dodge all the attacks and just let Shit Pickle take care of them.
Shit, I think Shit Pickle helped me once I got to Super Mega Death Christ. I was like, you know what? I did get much better at dodging those attacks, though, by that final run. I was like, okay, I've actually learned the boss's pattern. But like, I pretty much was just able to dedicate that last playthrough to just dodging the attacks and let Shit Pickle handle most of the damage.
Bro, how the hell is Shit Pickle going to be strong enough to take out Christ?
I know,
like Super Mega Death Christ. Like, what the hell, man?
Fucking insane. No, but Shit Pickle not only deals damage to every enemy on screen one at a time, but also will occasionally give you items, including health items whenever you need them, and will even pick you up when you fall. So super handy item. I don't think you get it very often as an item, but you do get it when you get to 0 lives, which is nice. It's kind of like a final thing, which is really useful once you've gotten to that point. It's the game kind of throwing you a bone.
Yeah, it gives you kind of a one last chance to maybe get to an extra life or something like that, or maybe if your health is low, get to another Rolling Rock bottle. Which by the way, the health items in here are Rolling Rocks. Right?
Yeah, I love that. I'm drinking some Rolling Rock right now. Actually, I got some from my local liquor store just to enjoy for this episode.
I wasn't able to find any Rolling Rock, to be honest, so I'm just going to burn a little bit of weed to this because, Angry Video Game Nerd is also good stoner stuff. Shit.
Fuck
so,
yeah. But there are some other items in this. There are beer bottles that you can throw that will allow you to hit those enemies that are up. Kind of actually necessary in some parts to keep some of those on hand. It's just a shame that every time you die, you lose the power up.
Yeah, and you have a limited amount of bottles to use. I think if you pick up one, it'll give you like 15 bottles.
24
to throw. Or 24. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's finite, but I mean, there's few instances where I mean, you'll really use it to take out certain enemies. You
Yeah.
know, but I mean, if you can find a way to get around them other than that, then you can save them for later.
Yeah.
Like some of the bosses, makes some of the boss battles a little easier.
For sure, for sure. Again, it just kind of is a shame that you lose that power up and don't have a chance to regain it when you respawn on the boss encounter when you need it the most. There are also invulnerability items and one that just damages all the enemies on screens. So, yeah, you can collect and use those items, and they're pretty fun. The gameplay itself is pretty fluid. I feel like the controls work about as well as they should for an 8-bit game.
Yeah, yeah. I did like how it really adhered to the old, NES style. It only really had a couple of buttons that you really used. But my biggest gripe is I do feel like they could have had more directional shooting in this. I mean, I think that even Mega Man had the ability to, at least in some of the later games, to shoot upwards, kind of, even diagonally.
Yeah,
Like,
but that was
would
in
have
the
helped.
later ones. In the NES ones did it, because I know Metroid on the NES did not let you shoot up. Later Metroid games
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
So that resonated with me when I played this. I was like, okay, it's an NES game, so of course you can't shoot up or crouch shoot.
Yeah, but I mean, also you still had Contra that did that. This game has some elements of Contra to it, so I kind of feel like they could have just lifted that one little mechanic from Contra and just went with it.
Yeah.
It would have made some of these. It made some of the boss battles a little easier.
Yeah.
Some of the levels and.
There
Yeah.
are quite a few references to games that the nerd has played. There's a level that's pretty much just like Simon's Quest, and even features a mechanic from that where the level scrolls the other direction and for a little bit. Or no, that was Jekyll and Hyde that was a reference to.
Jekyll and Hyde. Exactly.
There's an episode that's just like Jekyll and Hyde. There's an episode that's like Simon's Quest, Ghouls and Goblins, various games that the nerd has reviewed. And there are quite a few references to the angry video game nerd himself. Like we mentioned the shit pickle earlier, Super Mega Death Christ and things like that, and just various little Easter eggs and even the items and stuff. But I mean, yeah, as far as like the plot of the episode that's being played out goes, it feels right in line. The humor is exactly what you'd expect from an episode of AVGN.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it definitely has some of his more memorable opponents. Like you have a level that references Top Gun. You have one that references Fester's Quest.
Yeah.
E.T. And then you have the Devil. You have like a Ghost and Goblins type of level as well. And I mean, and also you have like a Terminator and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
also, fuck that F-14 Tomcat level. That level is just absolute pure shit. It's just that constant. It's that bouncing mechanic where you have to time it just right when you hit on the bouncing thing, but it has platforming involving that. Although I figured out if you just hold down the jump button, it works. But still,
definitely.
They've even got like a scrolling death spikes that are coming up as you're trying to like progress through the level. There's some shit. But there's also like plenty of variety in these levels. Like I mentioned, there's a Jekyll and Hyde level that kind of does a mechanic from that. There are some like shooter levels where you can kind of they're kind of like a shmup type gameplay where you're in like a hovercraft and you're flying around and shooting things. Those are fun. And even some boss battles that you play through that way. Or a boss battle.
Yeah, absolutely.
In particular.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah. You remember the pile of shit boss battle? Like, what the hell was that?
I know. and almost every level I think has like a mid boss too. And some of them are harder than others. There are some levels that I felt like were a lot easier and we were able to get quite a bit further. And then some we were just like, no, fuck this. And the Super Mega Death Christ level will test your patience. That is the very last level that you unlock after you do all 6 stages, and it's quite a bit more difficult and even has some like glitching architecture and whatnot, which kind of throws you for a whole loop while you're doing it.
Yeah.
And you even get to fight 3 nerd clones. at the end before you face Super Mega Death Christ himself. So it's just a test of everything that you've learned up to this point. But by the time you've gotten there, I mean, you've at least gone through some shit.
Yeah. At the very least, I mean, you've gone through every single bit of shitty game mechanics that you could get from the nerd, and yeah. Once you get to Super Mega Death Christ, it's pretty crazy.
It's insane, but every boss, has a like a pattern, and so it's like when you die, it does feel somewhat earned. It's like, okay, this wasn't just some bullshit. Like I needed to time that a little bit better. I needed to do that jump better.
Let's play an NES game, something I've never played before. Hey, what's this? Huh? It's got my name on it? Just when I thought I've played every frustrating, ball-busting, rage-inducing game. Angry Video Game Nerd 8-Bit. Let's see what you got. And it doesn't just look like an 8-bit game, it is an 8-bit game, made for actual NES hardware. Talk about going back to the past. It's got all the usual customers, zombies, skeletons, disappearing platforms, you name it. And of course, everything wants to kill you, especially the bosses. They're big, they're bad, and they're ugly. Some of these enemies I've faced before. Yeah, coming back to haunt me. This is personal.
Yeah! But you know what? This is no ordinary NES game. This is my NES game.
Angry Video Game Nerd 8-Bit, coming soon to the original Nintendo Entertainment System. On a real cartridge! And oh yeah, and the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and wishlisted on Steam.
Like in the level The Devil, I remember, there was a part where in order to avoid hitting spikes, you had to jump just right. So you had to just barely tap the button to make that jump.
Oh my God. Yeah. That God, how frustrating. Dude.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
And every time you touched it, you instantly died. That's why I turned it over to easy mode, which just lets you take a little bit of damage. I was like, oh, thank fucking God. That just made it so much more playable for me.
Seriously, fucking death spikes and death boxes like that are just the worst, dude. I mean, seriously. I mean, you may as well just put a pit there,
I hated that shit in Hollow Knight too, and that was a more recent game that did that.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, no, it's just some bullshit. But I'm sure that like veteran NES players will probably find this pretty tame. Like I said, I don't think it reaches the level of bullshit that some of these really shitty games do, or even some of the games that other people actually enjoy, but the nerd just can't get to because they're too goddamn hard. I don't feel like it quite reaches that level, and it is relatively short. You can complete this, again, like I said, like in a single afternoon. I know I did. I just watched a playthrough that did it in like an hour. So, I mean, there's definitely going to be a lot of appeal for speedrunners.
Yeah. So far, there are a few speedrun videos of this game so far. I think even Mike Matei and James sat down and did a speedrun. I think it's on the Cinemassacre website. So.
Oh, fuck yeah. I have to check that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I thought this was really fun. I love all the little different references. There's even a Pepsi Man reference. And while it maybe doesn't offer anything new that pushes the, shooter platformer genre forward or anything, it is still a pretty decent action platformer that I think that especially fans of the Angry Video Game Nerd are going to enjoy.
I mean, definitely. I really enjoyed the feel of actually like being in a episode of the Angry Video Game Nerd, even to the point where he does talk to you, the player. He's like, "Hey, you did well." It's like, even chastising you for giving up at one point, I think. So It's like, Yeah. It's a really interesting presentation that they did for this.
Oh, also, I love how whenever you get a game over, it references the I think it was the Friday the 13th game where it's like, you're dead, your friends are dead, all your entire family is dead. That whole line from that episode.
Yeah, dude, that's actually a really, really good little callback.
Yeah.
You know, but that is one thing that I will say that I wish there was a little more of, was actual references to the AVGN lore. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it felt like we could have at least gotten like Glitch Gremlin maybe, or, you know, like maybe we could have gotten Kyle Justin back as well. You know, we could have had him.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I feel like there was some elements missing here. And I mean, I understand that you can't necessarily have like you know, Bugs Bunny per se here, you know, because copyright. But I mean, it still would have been kind of funny to maybe even have Mike Matei make a cameo. You know, that would have been kind of fun.
Well, I believe that there is actually like room for DLC or maybe even plans to do that. So they can definitely add a lot more content. I'd love to see more stages, maybe some challenge stages that are even harder.
Yeah. That would be kind of cool if they had like just a time trial or something like that, you know? Like that would be a cool that would be a cool gimmick, you know, like just pick a level and then you have so much time to get to a certain point and then you can get to a checkpoint and get more time and everything.
That would be a good idea. I mean, they have a boss rush, so it would only make sense.
Yeah. I mean, if they do the boss rush, to kind of make it like a level rush, you know, like a time trial or whatever. And, you know, maybe even multiplayer could be possible, at least for like the Steam and PS4 and Switch versions and whatnot.
Or maybe just even patch in a score system, because there's no score system in this, surprisingly.
Yeah, that's disappointing. How are you going to have an old school game like this and not have scoring?
I know.
You know, you got to have scoring.
Yeah, so you can get the high score, or like you said, at least like a timer or something, so you can try to complete it as quickly as possible.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, I don't know. Some of these levels, I'm kind of glad there isn't a timer, because I mean that would probably just completely fuck you over in so many ways.
But that's why like a time trial mode would be fun, like specifically like a challenge mode. But yeah, they could even just pull some like bullshit levels out of hell and force us to play them for bonus levels. So I'm excited to see if they do add extra content to this game. There's definitely a lot of room for it. And like I said, I mean, yeah, this is a fun time. It is a decent action platformer, held back by a couple of things that would have been nice to see in a game like this, but otherwise, you know, it's an enjoyable afternoon.
Absolutely, man. I mean, this is definitely one of those recent releases that, I mean, you're not going to you're not going to take very long to get through it unless you play through the normal difficulty, which, I mean, you're probably going to die a lot. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I feel like. I feel like the normal game, a lot of it is being padded out by how many times you can just get your ass kicked in this game and just die, you know? Like, I mean, I feel like that's kind of the padding of this game a little bit.
You're not wrong. I do feel like they're sort of padding it out that way. And maybe that was a trick that was utilized by, you know, old 8-bit games too, you know, but you know, it's in full effect here. You could tell it's just some bullshit. And even like some things like, for instance, the checkpoints are inconsistent. Like some levels have checkpoints where you think there would be, and some levels you're like, well, why wasn't there a checkpoint? Why am I starting the whole level over again?
Yeah, man. If there would have just been something as simple as just one checkpoint system, that would have made this game a little more bearable, you know, at least at the normal difficulty.
It does have a checkpoint system. It's just inconsistent. I don't know what triggers it specifically. It's very odd.
What?
Some levels have more checkpoints than others. But I remember for us, we were attempting the same level over and over again, and it failed to get to any sort of checkpoint, far past the point where we thought there should be one. And I remember it was just like, it made no difference how many lives we had because we were starting over every time anyway.
Yeah, that was very annoying. I will not lie. Very annoying.
Especially, like I said, once you get to a part of the game where just touching spikes is going to fucking kill you. And it's like, God damn it.
I swear, you may as well just put a pit where those spikes are. I mean, as good as they are, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Jesus Christ.
I don't fuck with insta-death spikes. I'm sorry. Like I said, it pissed me off when even a modern game, Hollow Knight, did that. I was like, no. I don't like anything that when you touch it, it instantly kills you. Bad.
Seriously, this isn't the Super Meat Boy or whatever that is, you know? It's
Yeah.
like, come on now.
I see spikes, I expect to get hurt, not die. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You know, kind of like Sonic, pretty much, unless
Yeah.
you don't have rings.
You know, lava is 50-50. Lava sometimes kills you instantly, sometimes it just damages you. I could go either way with lava, but spikes, come on, no.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely not.
Exactly. But anyway, actually, the soundtrack, the soundtrack to this is real good. It definitely sounds like something out of an 8-bit game, but I found that a lot of the tracks were just real fucking bangers. I was really vibing to it.
Oh no, man. I mean, I will tell you that if there's one thing about Angry Video Game Nerd that you'll know is how James Rolfe has actually utilized game music throughout and everything, you know, to full effect. So I mean, I know that he understands how gaming music can really just kind of grab you, you know, and just kind of grab you by the emotions sometime even, you know, or it grabs you by the balls even, you know, when you're going through a really, really tough action scene. Is like, yeah, I mean, the music in this game really just encapsulates all of that, you know. It's great 8-bit chiptune music, you know, and it's really well done, well mixed, you know, but it still has that nice retro vibe and everything. And they do fit each level that they're in, and the boss music is also really cool as well.
It is, yeah. And some of those tunes are just like stuck in my head, actually, which is kind of amazing for just, you know, like an indie game like this to have very memorable soundtracks like that. But like I'm even like thinking of one of the songs in my head now. The only thing I don't fuck with is the pause menu. Whatever the fuck plays when you're on the pause menu just needs to shut the fuck up.
Oh,
I feel like that's there just to
yeah,
piss you off, like it's intentional.
that's a reference to the Battletoads episode.
Ah,
Because the NES Battletoads pause music has this.
yeah.
So it's a reference to that.
Okay, that makes sense now. But hell yeah. I guess we'll go ahead and get into our final thoughts then. What about you, Bo?
I think that this is definitely a game that's maybe a little niche, you know? I mean, it's mainly for Angry Video Game Nerd fans. I mean, if you're not really a huge fan of James Rolfe or AVGN and you don't really get the humor, I mean, this is not really going to land for you, you know? I mean, you might get off on the actual challenge of the game itself, but, you know, there's a lot that's not going to land here. But for me, for somebody who does a holiday marathon every year of all the Angry Video Game Nerd episodes, I mean, yeah, it definitely kind of filled that... It filled that niche and filled that niche well. You know, I mean, like we said, it does feel like you are kind of engaging in a AVGN episode. I mean, the level design and everything is definitely meant to punish you. You know, it definitely has all of the elements of the games that James Rolfe has introduced to us all these years as AVGN, and it just encapsulated it into this game. And basically, I like the concept that it is really just, you know, the nerd versus these games. You know, he has to pretty much go inside the NES in order to fight it, to fight Super Mega Death Christ and everything. So, I mean, I've heard some people, like I said earlier, it's like it could use a little more of the old AVGN lore. There's some characters that I wish that he could have brought in, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe that there was just, because they were going for the 8-bit thing, there's probably some restrictions to that. But I mean, otherwise, yeah, this is a fun, quick game. I mean, I don't know how much replayability it has now, but if they're leaving things open for DLC, then I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they take this game later on, you know? So yeah. Check it out. It's not bad. I mean, it has its issues, but I mean, it's still a fun time.
Hell yeah, bro. Yeah, I gotta agree. I mean, for somebody, I don't know that I'll recommend this to anybody who's not an angry video game nerd fan, because I mean, a lot of those references are just going to be very odd. But I mean, even so, like I said, you know, as an action platformer, it is a good time. It's definitely going to be reminiscent, and it might, you know, if you grew up on these types of games on the NES, I think it's going to appeal to you. It was pretty fucking difficult for me. I know some veteran players may have an easier time with it, but yeah, I mean, this game definitely has all of the trappings of, you know, just that era of gaming. But it's available not only on the Nintendo Entertainment System in 2025 and 2026, but also all modern consoles. Like I said, I played this on Switch 2. It's available on the Switch 1 and the Xbox and PS4 and PS5 as well. So yeah, it's available on not only the current gen gaming consoles, but last gen. So I would definitely recommend this to a lot of people. It's a fun game. The folks at Retroware definitely did a great job with it for as compact an experience as it is. And yeah, it's definitely a love letter to the angry video game nerd fandom. So if you're in that crowd, I would definitely check it out. And, you know, either get destroyed and have to submit and admit that you're a bitch and play the easy mode, or or not.
I don't even know if I want to know what the hardest balls difficulty is like. It sounds painful.
Right?
Yeah. But although I will say that I would love to see how this game controls on an actual NES controller.
Yeah.
That would be really interesting. So
yeah, that would be fun. Although apparently, like I said, yeah, it's just missing the FMV cutscenes, which I think kind of make this. I love how the whole thing is structured like an AVGN episode. That makes it a lot of fun. And it's definitely going to be something that a lot of people who have followed the lore are going to have fun with.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, but all right, Bo, what's going on with Collateral Cinema?
By this time of release of this episode, we will have released our Vampire Hunter D episode. We also have Arcade the Tortured Crossing episode. Before that, you can check that out if you like. We are going to do a year in review episode coming very soon, and our next episode is going to be the Boruto movie. So that'll be interesting to check out.
Fuck yeah, man. As for Collateral Gaming, we will have out by this time both Part 1 and Part 2 of our Metroid Prime 4 episodes, so go check that out. And stay tuned for our episode on Ark Survival Evolved or Survival Ascended. We'll have a 2-part episode on that out later this month. We'll also have a year in review episode for both Collateral Gaming and Cinema, where we'll go over all of the new releases from last year that we didn't get to talk about. And we'll have our own little awards ceremony for our Best Picture and Game of the Year. Also, check out Collateral Let's Play. Today, as of the time of recording this, I just got out a new episode of Metroid Monday where I played through the beginning of Metroid Zero Mission. So that'll be fun to continue to play through that. And this Saturday, I think we'll go ahead and release a Shooter Saturday playing Killing Time, because I'll be down there this weekend, so Bo and I can get that done. And yeah, we'll have all that out. You can also support the show on Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee or Dashery, where you can get you some Collateral Media merch. If you want to support the show, you can do that, or you can help us rise up the ranks on Good Pods, or leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or feedback on your platform of choice. And we are on all major podcast platforms. We're also on social media: Instagram, Threads, Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky. So yeah, go connect with us on various platforms. And if you have any feedback for the show or any suggestions, our DMs are open. Anything else to add, Bo?
Not really. No.
All righty. Well, with all that being said, I've been Ashley Chancellor.
And I've been Shippickle. This
has been Collateral Gaming Bonus Round, and we're out. Fuckers! Collateral Gaming is a Collateral Media Podcast. All music and game clips are owned by their respective creators and are used for educational purposes only. Please don't sue us. We're poor.